developed following the period of Viking invasions. 226. The major Hiberno-Norse longfs were located on the coast, but with minor inland fluvial settlements, such as the eponymous Longford. The Dublin Custom House is a neoclassical building from the late 18th century. Castles were built by the Anglo-Normans during the late 12th century, such as Dublin Castle and Kilkenny Castle. 229, and the concept of the planned walled trading town was introduced, which gained legal status and several rights by grant of a charter under feudalism. These charters specifically governed the design of these towns. 230. Two significant waves of planned town formation followed, the first being the 16th and 17th century plantation towns, which were used as a mechanism for the Tudor English kings to suppress local insurgency, followed by 18th century landlord towns. 231. Surviving Norman-founded planned towns include Drogheda and Youghal. Plantation towns include Portlaoise and Portalington. Well-preserved 18th century planned towns include Westport and Ballinasloe. These episodes of planned settlement account for the majority of present-day towns throughout the country. Brick architecture of multi-storey buildings in Dame Street in Dublin. Gothic cathedrals, such as St. Patrick's, were also introduced by the Normans. 232. Franciscans were dominant in directing the abbeys by the late Middle Ages, while elegant tower houses, such as Bunratty Castle, were built by the Gaelic and Norman aristocracy. 233. Many religious buildings were ruined with the dissolution of the monasteries. 234. Following the Restoration, Palladianism and Rococo, particularly country houses, swept through Ireland under the initiative of Edward Lovett Pearce, with Houses of Parliament being the most significant. 235. With the erection of buildings such as the Custom House, Forecourts, General Post Office and King's Inns, the neoclassical and Georgian styles flourished, especially in Dublin. 235. Georgian townhouses produced streets of singular distinction, particularly in Dublin, Limerick and Cork. Following Catholic emancipation, cathedrals and churches influenced by the French Gothic revival emerged, such as St. Colman's and St. Finbarr's. 235. Ireland has long been associated with thatched roof cottages. Thoughts are nowadays considered quaint. 236. Capitol Dock in Dublin is the tallest building in the Republic of Ireland. Beginning with the American-designed Art Deco church at Turner's Cross, Cork in 1927, Irish architecture followed the international trend towards modern and sleek building styles. Since the 20th century. 237. Other developments include the regeneration of Ballymun and an urban extension of Dublin at Adamstown. 238. Since the establishment of the Dublin Docklands Development Authority in 1997, the Dublin Docklands area underwent large-scale redevelopment, which included the construction of Convention Centre Dublin and Grand Canal Theatre. 239. Completed in 2018. Capitol Dock in Dublin is the tallest building in the Republic of Ireland, achieving 79 metres, 259 feet, in height. The Ogle Tower in Belfast, Northern Ireland being the tallest in Ireland. The Royal Institute of the Architects of Ireland regulates the practice of architecture in the state. 240. Media. Radio Telefís Éireann, RTE, is Ireland's public service broadcaster, funded by a television license fee and advertising. 241. RTE operates two national television channels, RTE1 and RTE2. The other independent national television channels are Virgin Media 1, Virgin Media 2, Virgin Media 3 and TG4, the latter of which is a public service broadcaster for speakers of the Irish language. All these channels are available on Saofu, the national free-to-air digital terrestrial television service. 242 additional channels included in the service are RTE News Now, ATIG, and ATN Plus One. Subscription-based television providers operating in Ireland include Virgin Media and Sky. The BBC's Northern Irish division is widely available in Ireland. BBC One Northern Ireland and BBC Two Northern Ireland are available in pay television providers including Virgin and Sky, as well as via signal overspill by Freeview in border counties. Supported by the Irish Film Board. The Irish film industry grew significantly since the 1990s, with the promotion of indigenous films as well as the attraction of international productions like Braveheart and Saving Private Ryan. 243. A large number of regional and local radio stations are available countrywide. A survey showed that a consistent 85% of adults listen to a mixture of national, regional and local stations on a daily basis. 244. RTE Radio operates 4 national stations: Radio 1, 2 FM, Lyric FM, and RNAG. It also operates 4 national DAB radio stations. There are 2 independent national stations. Today FM and News Talk. Ireland has a traditionally competitive print media, which is divided into daily national newspapers and weekly regional newspapers, as well as national Sunday editions. The strength of the British press is a unique feature of the Irish print media scene, with the availability of a wide selection of British published newspapers and magazines. 243. Eurostat reported that 82% of Irish households had internet access in 2013 compared to the EU average of 79%, but only 67% had broadband access. 245. Cuisine. A pint of Guinness. Irish cuisine was traditionally based on meat and dairy products supplemented with vegetables and seafood. Examples of popular Irish cuisine include boxty, colcannon, coddle, stew, and bacon and cabbage. Ireland is known for the full Irish breakfast, which involves a fried or grilled meal generally consisting of rashers, egg, sausage, white and black pudding, and fried tomato. Apart from the influence by European and international dishes, there has been an emergence of a new Irish cuisine based on traditional ingredients handled in new ways. 246. This cuisine is based on fresh vegetables, fish, oysters, mussels and other shellfish, and a wide range of handmade cheeses that are now being produced across the country. Shellfish have increased in popularity, especially due to the high-quality shellfish available from the country's coastline. The most popular fish include salmon and cod. Traditional breads include soda bread and wheaten bread. Bembrak is a yeasted bread with added sultanas and raisins, traditionally eaten on Halloween. 247. Popular everyday beverages among the Irish include tea and coffee. Alcoholic drinks associated with Ireland include Poitin and the world-famous Guinness, which is a dry stout that originated in the brewery of Arthur Guinness at St. James's Gate in Dublin. Irish whiskey is also popular throughout the country and comes in various forms, including single malt, single grain, and blended whiskey. 246. Sports. Croke Park Stadium is the headquarters of the Gaelic Athletic Association. Gaelic football and hurling are the traditional sports of Ireland as well as popular spectator sports. 248. They are administered by the Gaelic Athletics Association on an all-Ireland basis. Other Gaelic games organised by the association include Gaelic handball and rounders. 249. Association football, soccer, is the third most popular spectator sport and has the highest level of participation. 250. Although the League of Ireland is the national league, the English Premier League is the most popular among the public. 251. The Republic of Ireland national football team plays at international level and is administered by the Football Association of Ireland. 252. The Irish Rugby Football Union is the governing body of rugby union, which is played at local and international levels on an all-Ireland basis, and has produced players such as Brian O'Driscoll and Ronan O'Gara, who were on the team that won the Grand Slam in 2009. 253. The success of the Irish cricket team in the 2007 Cricket World Cup has led to an increase in the popularity of cricket, which is also administered on an all-Ireland basis by Cricket Ireland. 254. Ireland are one of the 12 test-playing members of the International Cricket Council, having been granted test status in 2017. Professional domestic matches are played between the major cricket unions of Leinster, Munster, Northern, and North West. Netball is represented by the Ireland national netball team. Golf is another popular sport in Ireland, with over 300 courses countrywide. 255. The country has produced several internationally successful golfers, such as Padraig Harrington, Shane Lowry and Paul McGinley. Horse racing has a large presence, with influential breeding and racing operations in the country. Racing takes place at courses at the Curragh Racecourse in County Kildare, Leopardstown Racecourse just outside Dublin, and Galway. Ireland has produced champion horses such as Galileo, Montew, and See the Stars. Boxing is Ireland's most successful sport at an Olympic level. Administered by the Irish Athletic Boxing Association on an all-Ireland basis, it has gained in popularity as a result of the international success of boxers such as Bernard Dunne, Andy Lee and Katie Taylor. Some of Ireland's highest performers in athletics have competed at the Olympic Games, such as Eamon Coglan and Sonia O'Sullivan. The annual Dublin Marathon and Dublin Women's Mini Marathon are two of the most popular athletics events in the country. 256. Rugby League is represented by the Ireland National Rugby League team and administered by Rugby League Ireland, who are full member of the Rugby League European Federation, on an all-Ireland basis. The team compete in the European Cup, Rugby League, and the Rugby League World Cup. Ireland reached the quarter-finals of the 2000 Rugby League World Cup as well as reaching the semi-finals in the 2008 Rugby League World Cup. 257. The Irish Elite League is a domestic competition for rugby league teams in Ireland. 258. While Australian rules football in Ireland has a limited following, a series of international rules football games, constituting a hybrid of the Australian and Gaelic football codes, takes place annually between teams representing Ireland and Australia. 259. Baseball and basketball are also emerging sports in Ireland, both of which have an international team representing the island of Ireland. Other sports which retain a following in Ireland include cycling, greyhound racing, horse riding, and motorsport. Society. Ireland ranks 5th in the world in terms of gender equality. 260. In 2011, Ireland was ranked the most charitable country in Europe, and second most charitable in the world. 261. Contraception was controlled in Ireland until 1979, however, the receding influence of the Catholic Church has led to an increasingly secularized society. 262. A constitutional ban on divorce was lifted following a referendum in 1995. Divorce rates in Ireland are very low compared to European Union averages, 0.7 divorced people per 1,000 population in 2011, while the marriage rate in Ireland is slightly above the European Union average, 4.6 marriages per 1,000 population per year in 2012. Abortion had been banned throughout the period of the Irish state, first through provisions of the Offences Against the Person Act 1861 and later by the Protection of Life During Pregnancy Act 2013. The right to life of the unborn was protected in the Constitution by the Eighth Amendment in 1983. This provision was removed following a referendum, and replaced it with a provision allowing legislation to regulate the termination of pregnancy. The Health, Regulation of Termination of Pregnancy, Act 2018 passed later that year provided for abortion generally during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, and in specified circumstances after that date. 263. Capital punishment is constitutionally banned in Ireland, while discrimination based on age, gender, sexual orientation, marital or familial status, religion, race or membership of the traveling community is illegal. The legislation which outlawed homosexual acts was repealed in 1993. 264, 265. The Civil Partnership and Certain Rights and Obligations of Cohabitants Act 2010 permitted civil partnerships between same-sex couples. 266, 267, 268. The Children and Family Relationships Act 2015 allowed for adoption rights for couples other than married couples, including civil partners and cohabitants, and provided for donor-assisted human reproduction. However, significant sections of the Act have yet to be commenced. 269. Following a referendum held on the 23rd of May, 2015, Ireland became the 18th country to provide in law for same-sex marriage, and the first to do so by popular vote. 270. Ireland became the first country in the world to introduce an environmental levy for plastic shopping bags in 2002 and a public smoking ban in 2004. Recycling in Ireland is carried out extensively, and Ireland has second highest rate of packaging recycling in the European Union. It was the first country in Europe to ban incandescent light bulbs in 2008 and the first EU country to ban in-store tobacco advertising and product display in 2009. 271. 272. In 2015, Ireland became the second country in the world to introduce a clean cigarette packaging. 273. Despite the above measures to discourage tobacco use, smoking rates in Ireland remain at approximately 15.4% as of 2020. 274. State symbols. The seal of the President of Ireland, incorporating a harp. The state shares many symbols with the island of Ireland. These include colours green and blue, animals such as the Irish wolfhound and stag, structures such as round towers and Celtic crosses, and designs such as Celtic knots and spirals. The shamrock, a type of clover, has been a national symbol of Ireland since the 17th century, when it became customary to wear it as a symbol on St. Patrick's Day. These symbols are reused by state institutions as well as private bodies in the Republic of Ireland. The flag of Ireland is a tricolour of green, white and orange. The flag originates with the Young Ireland movement of the mid-19th century, but was not popularised until its use during the Easter Rising of 1916. 275. The colours represent the Gaelic tradition, green, and the followers of William of Orange in Ireland, orange, with white representing the aspiration for peace between them. 276. It was adopted as the flag of the Irish Free State in 1922 and continues to be used as the sole flag and ensign of the state. A naval jack, a green flag with a yellow harp, is set out in Defence Forces regulations and flown from the bows of warships in addition to the national flag in limited circumstances, for example when a ship is not underway. It is based on the unofficial green ensign of Ireland used in the 18th and 19th centuries and the traditional green flag of Ireland dating from the 16th century. 277, like the national flag. The national anthem, Amran na Bhfian, English, a soldier's song, has its roots in Theaster Rising, when the song was sung by the rebels.